Yes, buddy, the rivalry might be back, but Auston Matthews is still a Leaf. You see that Josh Levo scored with the Canucks?
Yeah, I did.
You got any thoughts on that? Yeah, there's something wrong with you because the Leafs won last night and they're 20-8. Just be happy.
Hi.
Victory puppy! I have no idea what I'm doing. This team is ruining my life. La 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 la! Leafs win 4-3 in overtime over the Buffalo Sabres. Leafs win 4-3 as number 34 scores with 3.4 left in period 4. I think officially on the clock it said 2.7, but as many pointed out to me on Twitter, it was actually with 3.4 seconds left. I feel like that's not even the only time Matthews has done that. Hey, let me start real quick. Buffalo Sabres fans, if I were you. Welcome back, baby. Man, how do you feel bad about that? I know it was really close and the Sabres were winning in the third even, but you were on the second half of a back-to-back giving the Leafs the backup treatment, and that's how close it was? You just picked first overall, and typically they don't give that to good teams. How do you not have the utmost confidence in Jason Botterill? Look what he's done! With a little bit of luck and a lot of brains, the Sabres have made some big and small moves to make their team better. The new guys are contributing. The old guys are finding a new gear. This is a hockey team, and all of a sudden, Tampa's first in the league, the Leafs are second, the Sabres are fourth, all Atlantic teams. Both fan bases can be annoyed by this. In the first round, if the playoffs were to start today, the Leafs and Sabres would be playing each other. Sucks for the Leafs because they finished second in the entire league and they would be playing the fourth place team. And it sucks for the Sabres because they'd be fourth place and they wouldn't even have home ice advantage. But don't begrudge that too much. And Leafs fans, don't begrudge me for congratulating Sabres fans and feeling good about this. Look, you shouldn't want your divisional rivals to be good, I know. But Leafs fans, getting away from Sabres fans for a second, get the idea out of your head that there's any path to the cup that's easy. There isn't. It's extraordinarily hard to win, which is why the Leafs haven't won it in a very long time, and the Sabres haven't won it, period. Let's say the Leafs play the Sabres in the first round, and they manage to win, and then they get Tampa in the second round. Someone's gotta win, just make sure it's you. And if you beat those teams, why not the teams you face in rounds 3 and 4? This is what you want. To be constantly tested by the best teams in the National Hockey League. We're almost at the 30-game mark, and the Leafs and Sabres just played each other for the first time, and the game was this good and this close? Jeff Merrick asked us on Ice Surfing last night, when was the last time the Leafs and Sabres were competitive at the same time? I was about to say Ryan Miller's first season as a starter, but that was 05-06 when he played 48 games and the Leafs missed the playoffs that year. So we're talking like not since the days of Ryan Miller as a rookie backup. Maybe even the Hasek days. The NHL is trying to shove a square peg in a round hole with rivalries. They're forcing it, and that's the worst way to do it. But we might have a perfect storm brewing. The Leafs and Sabres play each other a lot, but then there's two even more key factors. The proximity, right down the QEW, and, most importantly of all, they're good. If they meet in the playoffs, oh, look, everyone, every player, every coach, every fan wants to win. And winning a game 6-0 or winning in a sweep is fun, but what are the ones that are remembered forever? The Game 7s, the overtimes, the battles where you win by the skin of your teeth. Sabres fans and Leafs fans, this rivalry is just what the doctor ordered, and it's a recipe for some incredible hockey. At least that's how I would feel if I were you. Of course, if the Leafs lost this game, I'd be saying it's BS, and the Sabres cheated. The refs are biased. What's Marner gonna do to get a call, huh? What's Marner gonna do to get a call? The Leafs always lose in Buffalo. It's clearly rigged. Maybe I'd be feeling a little different. Yeah, well, ifs and buts. I guess we'll never know. One final thing before we talk about the game. This. From before last night's game from Mike Zeisberger, the Sabres are 70, 28, and 8 all time versus the Leafs in games played in Buffalo since the Sabres entered the NHL in 70-71. That's 28 wins in 48 years by Toronto here in Buffalo, folks. And no, this is not a misprint. Mike Zeisberger, by the way, a writer for the NHL. So last night bumped them up to 29 in their quest to get up to 1 win against the Sabres in Buffalo per year, which might take a while. So for all the Leafs fans last night when the Sabres were up 3-2 who were thinking to themselves, is it just me or no, it is not you. It is the harsh reality and it's bananas. But they get off to a good start in this one. That's a lie. They were actually getting outshot by a large margin. Again, I watched the post-game video and Babcock goes, well, you know, we started slow for whatever reason. Stop! For whatever reason? Okay, there's a couple options here. One, either Mike is trolling, or two, he doesn't know how to get this team off to a good start. I don't know if you watch all his post-gamers, but every time they have a slow start, which is often, he's like, yeah, I don't know why. Well, can you figure it out? I don't want to lambaste the coach of a team that's 20-8 through 28 games, but are you serious? Come up with another answer other than hope Auston Matthews scores it over a goal per game and hope for the best? I'm getting real sick of the Leafs' slow starts, but it makes it that much more demoralizing when the Leafs score first. No goals, but the Leafs were outshot 14-7 by the Sabres in the first period. Now, in the second and third periods combined, the Sabres only outshoot the Leafs by 2, 23-21. That's a pretty evenly matched game. So what gives with the first again? I can't tell you if Freddie is the overall MVP of this team, but he is the first period MVP by a large margin. Second period, though. Ron Hainsey with the puck. Breakfast is served. It's an English muffin, but it's flying over the net. And Auston Matthews sees that flying muffin and decides it's time to carb load. Mine! The man who calls himself Poppy gets hoppy, grabs that puck into the air, drops it to his stick, throws it on the back end. That's in the net. Auston Matthews with his 14th goal of the season in 14 games in pretty fashion. He is constantly making the unbelievable believable and blurring the lines of reality, thus ruining my life outside of hockey. I wake up and think I'm dreaming, I think I'm awake. I had a dream I stole an ice cream truck and woke up in jail, which makes no sense because who drives an ice cream truck around in December? This team? Yeah, but Auston Matthews is ruining my life in the best way possible. Yo, imagine how much it sucks not having Auston Matthews on your team. Do you remember when the Leafs didn't have him? I look at my videos from back when the Leafs didn't have him and I'm like, that guy looks upset. That guy, why does he still watch them? He needs to talk to someone about his feelings. And then Brian and Emma's blessed son joined this team and I just can't go back. Auston Matthews scores the type of goals where after every time he scores the opposing goalie, you just gotta give him the Goodwill Hunting treatment. Linus, it's not your fault. Like, really, whose fault is that? Hainsey puts it on, Sherry tipped it, it went 90 feet in the air and Matthews saw it. Okay, yeah, this game is far from over. That is one goal. Steve, keep going. 6 minutes left in the second. The Sabres win a face-off clearly in the Leaf zone. Freddie's one of the best goalies in the NHL this season, so if you're gonna beat him, you gotta take away his eyes. The Sabres crashed the net with 2 men in front. I don't even really think the Leafs did anything wrong here. They maybe weren't aggressive enough with Beaulieu, who had the puck and he puts it on. Freddie's looking left around the traffic in front. He should have looked right, but I mean, that's a matter of guessing. Sam Reinhart redirects it, tips it in, and it's 1-1. And as Stan the Man Narodka said on Ice Surfing last night, half the building goes wild. It's a perfect goal by the Sabres, a last-second redirect, and Freddie didn't see any of it. And the two Sabres in front, by the way, were Sam Reinhart and Jeff Skinner. They're great players, but they're not exactly Zdeno Chara. Shove them! This team's got to get tougher in front of their own net. About 16 seconds left. It looks like we're going to head into the third period with a tie. 2-on-2 rush. Zach Hyman passes it to Mitch Marner before he crosses the line. That's what I would have done too. Marner does a spinning backhand pass to John Tavares in the slot, which is not what I would have... How do you spin? Tavares tries to receive it on his backhand, loses it, barely gets it with the toe of his stick. No-look pass back into the slot to Gardner. Score! Jake goes to the slot because nobody was Gardner, and it's a 2-1 Leafs lead. 9.5 seconds left in the period. Man, it sucks giving up a goal with less than 10 seconds left. Would that be a theme? Third period. Less than 3 minutes in, Jeff Skinner doing what special players do. He comes out of a puck battle with the puck as well as time and space, and 4 Leafs staring at him. Puck is knocked loose to Rasmus Ristolainen, who no one's looking at. Slap pass over to Jack Eichel, who no one's looking at. One-timer, bang! The Eichel Tower puts it in the Arc de Triomphe, and it's a 2-2 tie. Two things. One, does Eichel always celebrate with a fan after he scores? I love that. Banging on the glass. Who's ever gonna forget that? Who's not gonna tell everybody the next day that that happened? That guy's display picture is a screenshot from the broadcast. Look, it's me and my friend Jack. Two, as an outside observer, Rasmus Ristolainen is feeling himself this season. He's got some swagger, and for all his criticisms, he knows what to do with the puck in the offensive zone. We got a game, kids. And I couldn't help but notice that the fourth line looked completely lost, or whatever the hell that was. Gauthier and Lindholm out there at the same time? Why? Looking again, the guys they had in the ice were Gauthier, Lindholm, and Hyman, which I think are their post-power play line. Man, I like those players, but no, don't do that. Google's is Nylander playing next game? After the game, it sounded like Babcock hoped so, Leafs have a chance to get the lead back. Riley up to Tavares. Yeah, buddy! John Tavares might be a Leaf, but Linus Ullmark is a Buffalo Sabre, apparently. Stays tied. Now, with about 7 minutes left, watch this goal because it was foreshadowing. The play is basically a 2-on-2. It's Skinner and Reinhart attacking while Zaitsev and Gardner are guarding. Leafs get into a little bit of trouble with the Sabres attacking, but they manage to take the puck back. All Kadri has to do is get it like, what, 6 feet, 10 max over the line? Kadri coughs it up and the Sabres get the puck. So Kadri is naughty boy number 1. Primary, bad. Reinhart crashes the net. Gardner's got got him, Zaitsev decides he should get him too. And as Eichel attacks the net, Zaitsev almost gets him. If he hadn't have panicked, he might have got him. But right in the slot, Eichel is able to get a clean shot off. Don't do that. And it's 3-2 Sabres in the third. Nikita, buddy, I don't know. And you know what? I'm guilty of it too right now. All I saw on Leafs Twitter was people getting on Zaitsev. And yeah, I think he panicked. And no, I don't think he played this well. But Kadri's the one who coughed the puck up. Don't rip on the players you don't like as much and give your favorites a pass. He was not. And now with 7 minutes left on the road, the Leafs got to figure this out. With just over 5 minutes to go, Auston Matthews wins the faceoff cleanly. Back to Riley at the point. He puts the puck on, misses completely. Now it's behind the net where Patrick Marleau is. Banks and shoots, scores! Patrick Marleau with the fist bump of his own, and he ties the game up. Who hasn't been bailed out by their dad once or twice, huh? Don't look now. After that struggling start, Patrick Marleau is officially on pace for over 20 goals again. But never mind all that, there's a game to win. I saw some people talking about, oh, both these teams are just playing for overtime. I don't think so. Leafs and Sabres, I'm saying this for the first time since 2015 when it was a very different context and they were both trying to get McDavid, but the points mean something here. Unfortunately, perhaps for both teams, the game heads to OT. And it was not the greatest for the Leafs, man. The Sabres had the puck 90% of the time. Didn't do a ton with it, but they had it. Outshot the Leafs 4-2. Actually, they were out shooting them 4-1 until about 3 seconds left, but less than 10 seconds to go. Kapanen has the puck at his blue line with 8 seconds left, and he's so fast that by the time he hits the other blue line, there's 9 seconds left. There was actually 6. Kapanen drops it back for Matthews, and it's game. Because Kapanen's coming in on 2 Sabres. One of them is Vladimir Sabatka. Kapanen is approaching the blue line down the middle, goes wide, and then cuts back to the middle, taking Sabatka with them. After the pass, Kapanen sort of runs into Sabatka a little, slowing him down. And for a brief second, the Sabres are a little bunched up, and Sabatka is completely flat-footed. Sabatka is able to reach out his stick, and he almost pokes the puck off of Matthews, but the mere fact that he's standing still, game. Matthews, oh, that shoulder looks alright. Ready, aim, fire. Off his outside foot, ping, bar down, 3.4 seconds left, that's game, let's go, baby. Auston Matthews, who is a Leaf, and don't you ever dare forget it, wins it! He said he was dog-tired, and I can't imagine why. His second game back from injury, he plays over 23 minutes in this one. Babcock wants him to get his win back, and that's one way. His 15th goal in 14 games, and he did something incredible. He did a thing that so many players cannot do, but I'm gonna be that guy. That goal doesn't happen without Kasperi Kapanen. Look, the goal obviously doesn't happen without Matthews, alright? He's got a unique skill set. Pretty much no one can do what he does the way he does it. But if you're Kasperi Kapanen and you're vying to be this guy's line mate when Nylander comes back, can you imagine that? Kapanen, Matthews, Nylander? Woo! If you're vying to be this guy's line mate, you need to know how to utilize him the best. Kapanen knows his job here is to not only get Matthews the puck, but turn Sabatka into a mannequin. And let's not sell Kapanen short. He's got a unique skill set. Who is as fast as him? It's not a big list. He uses that to put his teammate, Auston Matthews, who's ridiculous, in the best position to succeed possible. And it worked. I was talking about Matthews' ice time. I want to shout out a couple others before I get to questions. Jake Gardner with a goal in this one and playing 24 minutes and 48 seconds. Morgan Riley, 25 minutes and 50. Babcock was doing a lot of juggling in this game. Riley was a +3. Hainsey, his defense partner, was even. Gardner was +1. Zaitsev, his defense partner, was -3. Dermott played over 18 minutes. Ozhiganov played under 14. And before you go asking, Dermott only played 17 seconds on the penalty kill. The Levo trade was a minor thing and sort of out of necessity, but now that Nylander's signed, I wonder what's going on with the D. Might there be a move? I don't know. I mean, they're also 20-8. But if you make a move to improve the defense, you're not looking to make them into President's Trophy contenders. You're looking to make them into Stanley Cup contenders. A thing I can't believe I'm saying. Questions. How do worms get into apples? It's ridiculous. Well, it's... How many games will it take Nylander to get his first point? Any rust? I mean, geez, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. He can get a point by accident, so let's say this first game. And you know what? There's gonna be rust, so for that reason, I say start him as soon as you can. The Leafs play Detroit on Thursday. They're missing 2 big pieces of their offense with Bertuzzi and Mantha out. Then it's the Bruins on the road on Thursday. That's a big test. They're also missing guys. Carolina on the road. There's another big test. Tampa on the road next Thursday. That's another big test. But that's good, isn't it? A little little bit of baptism by fire? I mean, I know they're not game situations, but you've been skating, right? The Leafs might struggle a bit over the next few games, and Nylander might struggle a bit over the next few games, but he might be stronger for it. Some of the things Babcock says drives me nuts, but I agree with him here. Let's get on with it. How excited were you to finally see a shootout this season, only to have that cruel man Matthews steal it from you? Phil, you know, I don't think I'll ever get over it. What is Cappy doing? His best, all right? Leave him alone. I like this. I'll end on this. If Austin's shot was a WWE finisher, what would it be called? It's gotta be the Austonner, right? You could also call it Matthews, but I like the Austonner. Come on. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Brand new Panago Pizza Steve Dangle podcast is up, and I got something fun that I'm gonna do today, and I can't wait to share it with you. That's a tease.